Hey, what's going on, everybody? Good afternoon. In this video, we are looking at the updates for the NBA slate today. We got major news out of Portland that it's completely shook up the entire slate. So I'm not going to waste too much time. We're going to go ahead and get right into it. As always, though, if you enjoyed the videos, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Check out Twitter, where you can get my prize picks props daily. I posted another 5-man prop once again yesterday, and we hit for 10x. All 5 players came through. It was yesterday's consisted of Kevin Porter, LaMelo, Jakob Poeltl, Suggs, and Gordon Hayward. And it went 5 for 5 for the second day in 3 nights and for the third time overall in 5 nights. So if you've been playing those, you made 30x in 5 days. So it's been pretty solid stuff over there. I'll probably build one for now as well while we are making this video. But we'll go ahead and just talk about some of the DraftKings major news first. So get us started here, looking just at specifically at the Portland pieces. There is no Damian Lillard, so they're missing their best player. They're also missing their third best scoring option in Norman Powell and a solid bench piece in Nasir Little. They're all been ruled out of this game, and it's a team that already runs a pretty tight rotation. You'll definitely see guys like Dennis Smith Jr. jump into the rotation just because they don't have that many bodies. You'll probably see like Snell start once again, although that is not fun. You also see probably Ellaby get some minutes. You'll see good minutes for like Larry Nance and a lot more minutes for Covington. So they're the team that you want to focus on, at least to kind of get yourself started. The first guy I'm going to plug in has to be CJ McCollum. Play my point guard or shooting guard. I think both McCollum and Simons just look like really good options. It is a late night game, so I mean I obviously can mix the stuff up, but I would plug these guys in at like the guard spot. Probably can plug in McCollum at the shooting guard spot. At the forward spot, you can plug in like Covington. Those would be 3 pieces that I really like to start, and then even at center, like go with Nurkic if you wanted to, or you can plug them in at utility depending on if you're looking to pay up for a different center. But I'm probably looking at 4 Portland guys at least in a lineup just because they're missing 3 key pieces of a rotation, and the matchup is solid against Detroit. The Pistons play slow, but the Portland's at home, so they'll be able to dictate the pace a little bit more, and the pricings on these guys just haven't really adjusted. I mean, it's impossible for them to adjust. So you're getting way cheaper price tags on McCollum, on like Nurkic, Simons, Covington than they would have been if DraftKings knew about these guys missing tonight. And then I still really like to get to the some of these Toronto guys. We're still waiting on the word of Gary Trent, if he's in or not. If he does play, I like him as a value at 54. But right now, the 2 pay-ups that I like on the Toronto side are the 2 best players, Pascal Siakam and Fred VanVleet. I think both of them are just going to have pretty solid games tonight. You can't really ask for a better matchup going up against this Grizzlies defense. They are dead last in terms of just 116 points per game. They play at a fast pace. They're missing Ja Morant. Not that it makes too much of a difference from like a defensive perspective. It will just hurt their offense more. But I really want to get to these Toronto guys at home. I think that Trent will miss, but if he does play, he bumps these guys down a little bit, probably Siakam a little bit, VanVleet a little bit, but it's not going to make too much of a difference because these guys play 40 minutes a night almost every single game in a close one. And no OG, so I know OG has been the case for the last couple weeks, so nothing has changed much from these guys. So Portland has to be the best team. Toronto would be my second team, and now, like we talked about these Grizzlies pieces in the morning, they are still good plays, but they're not like priority plays because you have like Bane is 6K, 5K plus tags on Jones, on Melton. Like they're priced where they should be, whereas guys on Portland are not. And then even like the Toronto superstars are kind of underpriced. So probably see myself getting less to Memphis, way more to Portland, way more to Toronto tonight. And then if you wanted to play Aldridge, you could still get him in there. If you wanted to play Buddy Hield, I still like him. But that's just the updated core on the DraftKings side. In terms of the prize picks, I already posted one today. If you didn't get the Taco Tuesday with Kevin Durant in there, he was at only 23.5 over under was his total. So that was such a good value. But I threw in Buddy Hield, Pascal, VanVleet, Aldridge. I think you can stick with all of these guys. And then Covington is the only piece that we have right now on the Portland side that they've updated. They'll definitely put in McCollum. They'll definitely put in like Nurkic. If those guys are under like 30, under 40, I would take the over. At least on McCollum. If Nurkic is probably like 34, take the over on that. But I'm looking to get to McCollum once they put his prop up here if I can. I'm in PA, so I can't even play these, but I just like to at least give you guys the plays that I would have played if I could. Hopefully PA gets approved pretty soon because it's been fun giving you guys these winners, and looking forward to making some for myself. But that's it for the DraftKings side. Let's talk about the FanDuel picks. All right, so on FanDuel, your priority would still be to get to these Portland pieces. You still have great tags on like De'Aaron Fox at 76, great price tag on Van Fleet at 84. But I would still like to get to these Portland guys above those guys if I had to just pick one. You can get to both, obviously. But the best value is now, it was Tyus Jones originally in the morning, but now it has to be $4,000 dual position eligibility and free assignments at $4,000. He'll definitely start. He's been awesome as a shooter this year, and he's stepped up nicely whenever he's been given the opportunity to start in place of in either McCollum or Lillard. In this case, it's Lillard is out. At shooting guard, $7,200. CJ McCollum is a very tough guy to pass up on. You still have very nice tag on Burks. Is pretty viable. I would probably have Burks below Dillon Brooks and Buddy Hield just based on their couple $100 cheaper. Big time solid matchups here for both of these guys, and especially for Brooks missing Ja Morant just gets such a big usage uptick. And then if you needed to go cheaper in the 4K range, maybe you can look to Svi Mykhailiuk, but he's already at 48. That would only be a case if they do not have Gary Trent. Small forward, going with one of these $5,800 guys, Brooks is the preferred option just because he gets a solid amount of minutes, although they haven't seen him he hasn't been given heavy minutes yet, but that's mainly because some of these games have been blowouts and he's still just been coming back from an injury. But he's at the point now where I think he'll probably get up to 32, 34 in a close game. And Covington is way better on DraftKings. Still playable on FanDuel, but 55 is a lot different than 39. He's always a good play on FanDuel just because he can get you those blocks and steals, which gives you just so much upside. But he's just much better of a value on DraftKings. Give me Brooks, give me Buddy Hield, give me like Trent if he does suit up. Scotty Barnes in the mix as well. All of those guys I would play before Covington on FanDuel. At power forward, you have Durant if you wanted to pay up. Still like Julius Randle, he's fine. At the bottom here, I like Scotty Barnes at 67 if he does play, which I do expect. You have Aldridge at 61, which I think still looks like a pretty good value. You can like have Achua at the bottom here at 52. He's better on DraftKings, still playable on FanDuel. Nance is 51, so some of these Portland guys, besides like CJ, Simons, and probably Nurkic, they're better on DraftKings, like Larry Nance and Covington. So on FanDuel, for sure I'm going with Pascal Siakam as my favorite play at only 75. He's just way underpriced. And then at center, you can go with Davis if you wanted to pay all the way up. I like Nurkic a lot now at 67. Aldridge is still in the mix, but with them being a little bit shorthanded, I wouldn't be surprised if Nurkic, coming off of a solid game yesterday, he only played 26 minutes. They've been limiting his minutes in a lot of these games. But if he's playing well without Lillard, I think they'll give him more minutes tonight just because they just need some offense out there. Nurkic can provide some offense, and he can just really fill up the stat sheet even given limited minutes. But worst case, he probably gets like mid to high 20s. The upside is there for him to get over 30. If he does, he's like a really, really good point per minute guy. On the season, he's averaging like 23 or 24 minutes, and he's averaging like 32 fantasy points. So he doesn't need much to hit value if he does get those extra minutes, which is definitely possible against Detroit without a couple of their key rotational pieces. Wouldn't be surprised if he puts up a 40, 50 spot at all at a good tag. So that's about it for the updates. We're still waiting on some news, so if anything else changes, you can stay up to date on Twitter. But Portland is now the team you want to focus on. And then I would still like the Raptors, the Grizzlies game would be my second one to target now. But that's about it. Thank you for watching. Best of luck tonight, and I'll see you all next time.